question, no? What is the solution to the differential equation y prime plus 5y equivalent to 0? Anong ginamit nito, anyo na method dito, class? Anong method na ginamit nyo dito?
Variable separable.
Variable separable. What we normally do is that itong y prime, kino-convert natin yan in the form of yung dy dx. So, let's just put it this way. Okay, dy over dx. Then, we have here 5y equivalent sa 0. So, let's, di ba may apat na method, no? First method was yung the very simple method, or the simplest method among the four, and the easiest method as well, the variable separable. The next method is yung exact DE. Then we have also the homogeneous DE. Then we have here the linear DE. Okay, these are for ano ha? These are for ordinary or ordinary first order. First order lang ito, class. And we have lastly is yung sa Bernoulli. Okay, if you have remember those methods, then like iba pa din yung sa higher order na ordinary differential equations. Okay, for this one, okay, ang appropriate na gagamitin natin for this one, for this problem is yung variable separable. Wherein in variable separable, we are basically isolating the variables, no? Una is if we can, no? If we can separate yung y from x, then we'll do that. Okay, in here we can just transpose 5y, that would become dy over dx, and that is equivalent to negative 5y. Tapos obviously, as you can see, yung y, yung mga variables na y, we can isolate that in one side of our equation, and the other variable would be in the other side of the equation. So Vedra, you are recognized, so present ka. Okay, kita ko na yung message mo. Okay, so we have here dy all over, okay, but we can cross multiply, diba? We have 5y here, and that is equivalent to negative dx. Okay, so in here obviously yung y at saka x is na isolate na natin, then we can proceed to taking the integral of both sides. Okay, yung 1 over 5, we can factor that out or set that aside because that is a constant, and we'll take the integral of dy over y, no? That is equivalent to negative of dx. Okay, so this is 1/5, and yung integral ng dy over y is obviously ln of y, and that is equivalent sa negative of x plus the constant of integration. Okay, what we can do is to multiply both sides by 5 so that we can get rid of this one, and that would give us ln of y is equivalent sa 5 negative 5x plus 5 times c is simply equivalent pa rin sa c. Is that correct? Tama ba, class?
Yes, sir.
A constant multiplied by a constant, that is still a constant. Now what we can do is to exponentiate both sides, meaning to say we'll transform in this way, no? Okay, so that would cancel this out, leaving y, no? And that is equivalent sa e raised to the power of negative 5x plus c. Okay, we can transform this or divide this one into the same base, no? We have here e raised to the power of negative 5x times e raised to the power of c, wherein itong e raised to the power of c, that is also c, no? That is a constant kasi yung e is a constant value yan. So therefore we have here y equivalent sa c multiplied by e raised to the power of negative 5x. So ito na yung magiging solution ng ating differential equation na y prime plus 5y equivalent sa 0. So I hope na you remember nyo yan, no? Because we will be applying this one, or we will be comparing this one sa a numerical method na naman, to which is discuss natin yan tomorrow. Okay, so recall lang natin muna to, no, para ma-refresh tayo. Okay, problem number 2. Do you have question? Do we have the same answer for problem number 1? Hello? Do we have the same answer for
Yes,
problem
sir.
number
Yes,
1?
yes, sir.
Of
Same, sir.
course, no? Of course, no? Kasi one source lang tayo eh. ChatGPT din yung source ko eh. Joke lang.
Saan ka, sir?
Joke lang, class. Okay. So, problem number 2 tayo. What is the differential equation of all straight lines whose slope is m and whose y-intercept is b? Okay, sabi dito, hanapin na natin yung differential equation ng lahat ng straight lines whose slope is given to be m and y-intercept is b. So, recall natin, class, if we have, for example, a line, no? Yung line natin is pag ganito. And meron din tayong line na pag ganyan. Sorry, hindi yan line. Ganito. Okay, for example, meron tayong line na ganito. Okay, so di ba yung line, one of the standard equation ng line is yung slope-intercept form, which is mx plus b. And that is basically what this statement is describing to, no? That is a slope-intercept form. Kung pag ganito yung line natin, we need to say it has a slope of positive. Kaya positive yung m. Now, for line na ganito naman, yung pababa, so it has a slope of a negative value lang ng m, no? Okay, that depends pa rin yung saan yung position ng y-intercept natin. Kung nasa positive direction naman yung intercept natin, for example, meron tayong ganito. Okay, yung intercept natin, ito yun, no? So that is at
Excuse
the
me, sir.
positive. Yes?
Nakikidrawing, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
meron.
wala siya sa screen lagi, sir.
Wala siya sa screen?
Yes, sir.
How about the
Hindi na ako
others?
makita.
How about the
Nasa
others?
mo sir, naka.
Baka
Wala
sa...
po, sir.
Wala.
Wala sa
Wala
sir.
po sir. Wala
Abot, sir.
sama sir. Wala sa mo
Hindi
sir.
nag-ano, sir. Naka-connect tong
Wait sa...
wala ni Lin.
How about the others? Meron, di ba? Okay, just for...
Nasa mo
Na,
sir.
sir.
Okay, just for a while,
Wala sa mo.
Just for a while. Let me just uh, share my screen ulit. How about this one? Were you able to see this one?
Nana, sir.
Nana sir, nana
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So, kung meron tayong ganitong line, no? Obviously, that is a negative yung slope natin. Yung direction or yung sign ng B dito, yung y-intercept, that depends pa rin kung saan yung na-position ang ating y-intercept. For example, meron tayong uh, x and y-intercept here, no? For example, meron tayong ganyan. Okay. In this case, as you can see, yung intercept natin, yung y-intercept is nasa ibabang part ng ating y-axis. So that is positive. Let's compare it with this one. Okay. Now we have here our y-axis, no? And then we have here our x-axis. Okay, yung y-intercept natin nasa ibabang part ng ating y-axis. And that means we will have or we'll be expecting a negative value for our y-intercept. So that is just a recall, no? No simple mga analytical geometry. Now for this one, we'll just assume a general equation or uh, standard equation of a line, no, na positive yung diagonal or yung slope niya at saka yung intercept niya positive. So we will just assume mx plus b. Okay? What we will going to do is to eliminate all. Okay, in finding the differential equation, this is the general procedure. In finding the general equation of a given function, what we need to do is to eliminate what ano i-eliminate natin, class? Eliminate all constants. So dito yung constants are yung m at saka yung b. These are the constants. Okay? We need to eliminate that one. So to eliminate that one, we will basically take the differential of all terms such that we will be able to come up with no with an equation that has no constant at all. So meaning to say, okay, we have here y equivalent to mx plus b, and what we need to do is basically differentiate this one with respect to x. So that would give us dy over dx equivalent sa m dx over dx plus etong b is a constant, so that would give us a 0. Now, we have now a dy over dx here equivalent sa m times 1. But, we're not done yet kasi etong m is still a constant. We need to eliminate that one. Okay? To do that, we'll do another, okay, differentiation. Okay, we will take the differential of this one, and that is obviously equivalent sa yung second derivative ng ating y with respect to x, and that will become equivalent sa 0. In other words, if we will be cross-multiplying this one, di ba itong y prime, itong d squared y over dx squared is just simply equivalent sa y prime, y double prime, and that now is equivalent sa 0. So therefore, this one is the differential equation for all straight line, for all families of straight line, regardless kung negative man ito or positive. Kasi, for example, if we say, for example, okay, that is negative mx plus b, or negative mx tapos negative b, yan. So, we would still come up with, okay, ganito. Diba? Derivative of a negative or positive constant, that is always equal to 0. So, we will still come up with the same differential equation. Okay? Now, this y double prime equivalent to 0, that will that is the differential equation that will represent all straight lines. Straight lines with m as slope and b as the y-intercept. Okay? So, yan na yung magiging always na differential equation for all straight lines. Nakuha ba, class? Okay? So, that is basically our answer. Now, for our last problem, find the differential equation of y squared, x squared pala, multiplied by y, equivalent sa 4 plus cy. Okay, same thing dito sa problem number 2. Okay? To find the differential equation of the given function or given equation, what we need to do or to target is to eliminate all the constants. So in here, we have basically how many constants? Yung c at saka yung 4. Okay, tama ba? So in here, okay, or yung constant natin dito is basically yung target talaga natin eliminate is yung value ng c or itong c. Dapat wala tayong differential equation na may c. Okay? Although, pwede naman may 4, basta may numerical value. Basta yung mga constant na tawag nito, same kanina dito. Yung m at saka b, these are not numerical values, no? These are just representation that there are constant, no, in the following equation. The same thing here, yung 4 natin, that is a numerical value, no, ng constant. And c is not a numerical value. That is only a representation na may constant dyan, no? So, to find the differential equation of the given function or equation, we need to eliminate itong c. We need to eliminate itong c. Okay? So, that means, no, to eliminate that c, we need to isolate that c. Okay, what we can do is that, okay, we can divide both sides by, or multiply both sides by 1 over y. Okay, then we have here x squared equivalent sa 4 over y plus c. Okay, c na yan, class, no? And then ito, transpose natin sa kabila. Then we have here x squared minus 4y, okay, 4y equivalent sa c. And then that is the time we can take the derivative, okay, with respect to x. Okay, so therefore we have here 2x, okay, dx over dx, which is equivalent sa 1. Okay, eto, pwede natin to, di ba? Eto, pwede natin yan itaas yung y. So that will give us 4y prime, y prime, y raised to the power of negative 1, no? Okay, therefore we have here 4, okay, and then uh, okay, that is 4, no? And then we can bring the negative, okay, negative 1, then that would become y, negative 1 minus 1, and then we have here dy over dx, tama? Is equivalent yan sa the derivative of a constant, that is automatic 0. Now, we can simplify this further, wherein yung dx over dx is simply 1, okay? Etong negative 4 times 1 will become positive 4, and then we have here y, negative 2, and then that is dy over dx. Okay, what's left is to rearrange lang this one. Okay, etong 4y negative square, negative 2, we can put that in the denominator, magiging ganito yan, and then we can just basically multiply both sides by y square, and then that would give us, unahin natin tong 4 yung dy dx natin, gawin natin yung y prime plus 2x y squared, okay, and that is equivalent sa 0. So this is now the differential equation, tama ba? Sorry. Okay, we can still further simplify this one by dividing both sides by 2, tama ba? If we will be dividing both sides by 2, that would give us 2y prime plus xy squared equivalent to 0. So this is now the simplified version of our differential equation. Okay, so basically this is our answer for this problem.